So it's amazing that my closet is pretty small in terms of amount of space it is actually is footage, but I can't believe my first part of this video was 20 minutes long. Before I knew it, time was up, and 20 minutes is the length that the maximum amount of time that my digital camera can shoot video in. So it just goes to show you I've got a lot of stuff packed in here, and I'm not even halfway through. The other video ended with the Guardians of the Galaxy here, and I was telling how this Aurora action figure from Alpha Flight, if they don't come out with a Gamora figure soon, this Aurora figure is going to be customized into a custom Gamora, just so I can complete the Guardians of the Galaxy. Here we have a Luke Skywalker. You know, he's on that little antenna thing that comes out from The Empire Strikes Back movie, when he falls through that I guess, I don't know, garbage disposal chute, ventilation shaft, and he lands on the antenna after his hand has been cut off by Darth Vader. There he is there. Used to have it pinned up on here, but the weight of it just, you know, especially on this plexi, just kept falling down, so I just ended up putting him on there. I've got a Boba Fett from the 6-inch Black Series line. This is a mini-mate. I have came with Wolverine as well, which is somewhere. I'm not quite sure where right now, but he's somewhere. In the back here is, this case is all mostly Legacy Collection Build-A-Droid, with some Black Series in there as well. But most of what's back there is going to be from the Build-A-Droid Legacy Collection. You know, I can't really see it too well back there, but as I said before, I just really needed the space, and I figured out this way of putting this plexiglass strips that I had up there. Here I've got a piece from a Death Star detention block playset, which I'm just kind of using the base, sort of a mini diorama. We've got Han Solo. He's about to be put in carbonite there. Here's a carbonite block with Han Solo in it. I forget what line. It's an older line, that's for sure. It's definitely not from the most recent Black Series, but it's pretty cool. I've got a vintage collection Boba Fett there, and there's just some assorted weapons and stuff down there. Here we got my Halo figures, which I like. To be honest, wasn't really about to collect them, but I managed to pick up these guys down here, which I think will make a great diorama. Sort of like generators, some sort of signal base, something. Definitely, I think it's a very cool little piece down there, when I got two of them. Next to the Halo figures, I've got some Dark Troopers, sorted ones. I've got the T-800 and good old Arnold, along with some droids there. Down below I've got Bucky Cap. It's a Marvel Select, I believe. I've got World War II Cap from the most recent sort of Marvel Infinite Legends series. I've got some Iron Man Extremis and Iron Patriot back there. This is from previous Marvel Legends. And then I've got several of these. I got a couple more of these 6-inch Black Series figures, and they're cool. My biggest problem though is space. It's much easier for me to fit some 3 3/4 inch figures in here than it is. Oh, the guy's not really standing up, but so I was gonna start collecting these guys, but I just have no more room. There's really not much space for me to put anything. I've got Darth Maul in there, R2D2. This is a Kotobukiya Anakin Skywalker, which I like. Anyway, the 6-inch figures, I was starting to collect them. I like the size of them, and I actually have quite a few more of them, but I just have no, they just take up too much space in the scale. So I kind of just picked out some of the ones that I like the best that I have. Here's some Toy Biz Patrick Stewart as Charles Xavier, and I've got a Wolverine back there, which is pretty cool. I've got most of that Marvel Toy Biz X-Men line from the movie, which I love. I just don't have the space for it. So those are probably my 2 favorite figures. I've got a Baroness figure there and some kind of diving apparatus. I've got my Movie Masters Superman. I think that's, I want to say that's Darth Crate, but I could be wrong, from the Star Wars comic packs. Over here we've got some assorted aliens, which I dig, kind of like, and there's a Borg, Captain Kirk, in from the original series right there in the background, in his environmental suit. Got Nero, and we've got some of that, I want to say this is Playmates, from the most recent Star Trek movies that came out a few years ago. I've got the whole bridge. I've got the transporter room set, as well as the bridge set, which I really love. And the figures aren't too bad. Yeah, I was always a big Star Trek fan, as well as Star Wars. Down here, well, that's my Dreadnoks again. And I don't know if I mentioned it before, but this is a Tech Deck staircase. I really love those Tech Decks. If I ever have a couple bucks, I'm going to try and see if I can find a lot of them on eBay. And then, built this guy for some scrap wood, and kind of using some like little shells, like little ledgers that I have back there to kind of put assorted stuff that I need, like my glasses and just little knickknacks. Okay, here we got a Prince of Persia gate, and here's the action figure. I really like the gate with the turn. Oh, he fell. Anyways, if you turn the knob here, you can actually raise the gate. Kind of tough to do one-handed. Oh, there we go. You get the point. Down below, we've got Indiana Jones. Kind of works well with that set. Got a Obi-Wan Kenobi. And then, I've been trying to do a little customizing. I've got a couple of Colossus here, and I'm just going kind of trying to figure out if I can come up with an ultimate Colossus custom there, which I'm still working on. Like the Gorillas, and my wife actually got me this. I play guitar, so she got me this several years ago. It's cool. I like it. And let's see, we've got the Halo playset thingamajigs back there, and just some assorted here. We've got Emperor Palpatine and a Lancer droid from the Legacy Collection, and Bush Leia. Got the Walking Dead. I love this guy. The detail on these figures are pretty amazing. I've got an Ultimate Wolverine on top of a chopper. I got the chopper separately. It comes from a different Toy Biz. Still comes with a Wolverine, but it, originally just not this one. Since I bought it separate for I don't know, $3 or $4. I thought it would look good with this Wolverine there. It's my helping hands, my Arduinos. I've been messing around with Arduinos and just coming up with different displays and different ways to customize toys. And it's not plugged into power, but basically this should supposed to be some sort of control panel for an action figure to be able to stand in front of, and it lights up some LEDs. It stands up pretty well once it's, still trying to figure out how to lay the wires down, but I think it's a pretty cool idea. Over here, well, that's my laptop, and let's see. We're at the middle of my thing. Let me turn this light on. Get a little bit better vision in there. I've got about 9 minutes left at this point. Over here, most of these are going to be the Star Wars comic pack sets, which I love. I'm only missing about 2 or 3 sets, and those are the ones that cost a ridiculous amount of money for like some Jedi, which I would love to have, but it's not about to pay the prices for them. But they're really cool. Some of these Darth Vaders are actually really neat. If you take off the armor, one of them has a young Anakin Skywalker, maybe probably just recently has become Darth Vader, so his face underneath his mask is a fairly young one, which I think is great. Some Sith Lords there. Very cool. And yeah, most of these are from the comic packs. Okay, down here I've got my Hoth, sort of, I want to say it's a Hoth, but there's a couple figures in here that aren't Hoth related, but they're still sort of snow related. And I've got these two sort of worms or whatever, not, I think that's from Felucia, but anyway, I like it in there. It's a mixture of vintage, really old figures with some new ones. Here's a Black Series. She keeps falling down, gotta stand her upright, So that's that. Here we've got an indoor bunker diorama. You'll notice that my displays aren't exactly scene specific, scene accurate, of course, but they're just a way for me to put a couple of my favorite action figures together in a way that's more dynamic than just having them in a display case like that. If I had the room, I could only imagine, well, the problem is I can't imagine the way I would display these if I had the room to build an actual sort of little diorama set back there. There's a probe droid up there. Anyway, back down here we've got my bunker, some biker scouts, some stormtroopers. I got a Power of the Force ATST in there. I have the much more recent Legacy version, which is taller, and I don't know, I actually still prefer this one better. It stands a lot better, it has a lot better, I feel like it's a lot more playable. It has this trigger in the back where when you press it, it actually kind of walks, which is really neat. And yeah, I definitely prefer this one to the most recent one. Let me plug, well, you know what, before I do that, let me check out my cantina in here. Got a couple of lights in there. Got my bounty hunters. I think he's actually supposed to be from Jabba's, or Jabba's henchman. This guy from Vintage Collection. Got Agent K there. I don't know what happened to Will Smith's character. He must have fallen down. It's kind of dark in there. Let me turn on the lights for a second. Let me put this camera down here. Hopefully it doesn't fall off there while I plug the lights in. Okay, there we go. Now it's a little bit too bright, but you see I've got the, if I could focus back there at all. There we go, there's the band in the corner. And basically I've got a lot of assorted aliens. Some of them actually do belong in the cantina. Not all of them. I've got something I'm working on over here, which once it's painted will go in the center along with Whir, which was here somewhere. Oh, here it is. Yeah. And I'll be adding this to my cantina bar once I have it painted. And by the way, this is also what I'm putting up on my Kickstarter, so if you're interested, check me out. It's not complete, it's missing a couple parts, and the one on my actual Kickstarter is going to be a little bit more detailed than this one, I hope. Let's get back up here. Here's my cantina as it is. It's not scene specific. There's a lot more aliens, and I've got a couple other things going on in here other than Star Wars. But that's that. Okay. Here we got, this is mostly X-Men. This guy's falling over, but it's Marvel. Got a bunch of bad guys back there. Apocalypse, Mr. Sinister, Juggernaut. We got Archangel, and we got X-Factor there. Got, I think these would be considered Astonishing X-Men right there. And then we got some classic guys in the back, towards the back. Storm, Gambit, Longshot. I got a Toy Biz Mojo, which I love. You know those Toy Biz action figures from back in the day? They were really great. I've got about a minute left, so let's do the X-Men real quick. This shelf. There we got X-Factor back there and some figures from the Wolverine Origins movie. Over here we've got Alpha Flight, and once again I've got a dagger back there because I'm really looking to turn her into a Vindicator. Alpha Flight. Custom right there since they don't have that one. And Mohawk, Storm, Jubilee. It's about to cut out on me. It's going to go into part 3. Oh no.